What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick. Hey, man, I want y'all to see this shit real fast. This is just an article that my wife had done showed me over the weekend. It's something very interesting, man, and I think a lot of people need to really understand what's going on here. These people just contradict themselves. They tell lies all the time. But before we get into this shit, man, I want y'all to take a little bit of time, just look at the top of this page right quick, where it say the Washington Post at. Now, this is the Washington Post that sent this shit out. I'm going to show you another article, and it's going to talk about how the CDC put this shit out. CNN was the first people, you know what I mean? I'll get into that in a second. But look at what it says. Say the Washington Post. Look up under this shit. It says democracy dies in darkness. You get what I'm saying? Now, most people that think they political, they halfway political. They don't understand a democracy is a form of government. That's the form of government in which people make the decisions. All people. Not just certain people. Not just elected fucking officials, but all people. You get what I'm saying? You're supposed to cast a vote on issues that pertain to you. All your issues that's supposed to be signed into Congress, legislation, all that shit like that, they supposed to have votes individually throughout the state. And from that point, they supposed to take that shit on up to Congress. Congress is not supposed to give you laws and then break that shit back down to you for your state to implement them. You know what I mean? But that's what these folks doing. That's a totalitarian dictatorship. And that's what we in. We basically in like a totalitarian form of dictatorship government in which the top gives you the orders and pass it down to the state for them to implement, not for them to vote on. You get what I'm saying? So what is this shit really saying? It says democracy dies in darkness. Everybody know what darkness is. Darkness can be seen as confusion and unknowing. All right, right now, nobody knows what's going on. They have created darkness for the whole population of America and the rest of the world. Right now, they got this coronavirus. You can't see it. These folks got it invisible. Right now, you are lost. You have no light onto it. These folks are telling you your democracy and your ability to make decisions for your own self and as a group, they finna die. They finna kill that shit. And they gonna use this coronavirus shit to do so. And they gonna confuse the fuck out of you until they can't no more. Alright? So let's get into this video. Let's get into this shit real fast, man. You know what I mean? Because this shit right here is just crazy to me. I don't understand how an analytical person can be out here. I don't understand how somebody who can see can actually miss this shit. Alright? It say the CDC reversed itself on its guidelines that it posted about the corona airborne transmission. You know what I mean? They saying it was wrong. Alright, basically, I'm not gonna read this whole article. I'm gonna try to go slow on it so y'all can get it and be able to read it if you want to. Because you know, man, they kept fucking these shits up. My phone did some real crazy shit right before I was, you know, when I was trying to record this video. This ain't the first time I tried, obviously. You know what I mean? But when I was trying to do it, man, it done fucked up and it took all this shit away. I couldn't find this shit, man. It was like my phone just all of a sudden just I can't even explain that shit, man. That shit was just fucking crazy. You know what I mean? But basically, what it's talking about is how the transmission of the coronavirus was. They were talking about how it's 6 feet. You know, it spread through droplets, just like any other cold, any other flu, you know, type of sickness would spread through cough, through sneezing, droplets. You know what I mean? They call it droplets because they go and they drop. They hit the ground and then they'll stay on that surface until they die. You know what I mean? That's the way that they say the coronavirus has been spread. That's the reason why you had to put on that mask was because you had to stop a motherfucker from spreading that coronavirus. That's what they was theoretically saying. Even though this shit is untrue and it's unprovable that that's what's really going on, that's what they told you had to do. Well, these new guidelines come out and say, hey, you know what? They was actually wrong. They don't transfer through droplets. They actually transfer through aerosols. All right? Aerosols is suspended particles that do not fall. They stay in the air. You know what I mean? That's what they was trying to say. They had said that shit way back when, man, but everybody was just like, yeah, this shit didn't make no sense. You know what I mean? How the fuck can you sit here and say that it's on aerosol? You know what I mean? But that's what they was trying to say. They talking about it stays suspended and it travels through aerosol, so it breathes and it goes further. Like, that's what they was trying to put out. Now, they didn't even go in and just, obviously they probably did. But the thing is, man, they didn't even just actually go to the next step to think like, okay, well, if it's on aerosol, fucking, your mask do not stop aerosols. You get what I'm saying? It can't. Aerosols is what allows you to breathe. That's how you get your oxygen and still able to breathe your oxygen levels. Well, if coronavirus is attaching itself to so-called oxygen and shit like that, aerosols, if it's able to attach itself to that, then your mask is not necessary at all. It is 0% effective. It is 0% going to help you. It is really not even a fucking, it's no question at all no more how you gonna even accept that shit as being true. My bad, y'all. Let me keep on scrolling this shit for y'all so y'all can read it. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. You know what, man, I'm just go ahead and I'm gonna scroll down this motherfucker real fast, right? This so that y'all can go ahead and get this reading out the way, and then we'll discuss it. You get what I'm saying? I'll let y'all go ahead and mute me out, pause as you need, do what you gotta do, read the article. So you don't just be taking my fucking word for it and say, oh, this nigga just made some shit up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna speed up a little bit, man. So like I said, y'all just pause this video. I forgot how fucking long this shit actually was. And then they try to word that shit around other words and shit like that. Alright, that's all of it, man. But basically, man, what it's basically saying is that how they done changed their whole perspective on how this shit spreads and this and that. They talking about, yeah, it spreads a different way, it spreads through aerosols. But like I was just telling y'all, man, an intelligent person would be like, okay, well, you know what, aerosols, the mask don't stop aerosols. How the fuck would you be able to breathe if it's stopping aerosols? You know what I mean? It don't. You know what I mean? So an intelligent person would be like, obviously, you got to get rid of these masks. You got to come up with a whole new perspective. But these people have went through their extremes to get you to accept that mask because it's about getting you to accept processes. Not just programming, but the process to the programming. Right now, this is a process to be able to get you conditioned to accept the information that these people are putting out. But right now, like I said, they know that you're not analytical. But then they got to thinking, damn, some of these folks, them motherfuckers probably do understand this shit a little bit better. So check this shit out. You know what I mean? This is what I was really trying to get you to see. Like I was saying, man, this shit right here, I had to go back and try to find this shit because it actually took the one that I was just looking at. Man, tell me how the hell did it get to 2 different links and it was on both of these. And I couldn't find it. And let me show you something real fast, man. I don't want y'all getting all up in my business. But look, check this. You know how you go to the left of your phone and you go to your news feeds right here on the left or the right? Well, my shit, this article right here that I'm about to read to you, it was over here. That's how I got that article from just today, just a few minutes ago. You know what I mean? Now, the article that I had pulled up was from a message from my wife. So I went into the link to my message from my wife to pull that up. Well, tell me why that the message that I was on from my wife, and then when I went back out, because my phone just all of a sudden disappeared. All this shit, like all of my shit over here on the side, all that just disappeared. And then it went over here. Now, this was ironic because right after I had got finished erasing all the other videos. Because I had made one video I was going to go ahead and keep. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make it again. You know what I mean? Because I had missed the little information or whatever. You know what I mean? So I went ahead and redid it. But I had just deleted all these motherfuckers. Right after I deleted all that shit, boom, my shit just fuck up. And I couldn't find it. So I had done remembered the keyword and was able to go back and find this shit. But let's get back to it, man, before I do it again on me. But this shit right here, come back and they revert on what they're saying. CDC abruptly removes the guidance that they had, talking about it was posted in error. Okay? And then this whole article, you know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and go slow on this shit real fast, man, so y'all can go ahead and read it. And this one ain't as long as the other one was. All right, I think that's about it on that one. Oh, no, actually, still keep going. I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all, man. I really hadn't even read all this down here at the bottom, so we probably going to go through this, about this concern about political pressures and shit like that. I was more or less reading up here towards the top, and I seen the contradictions into it and seeing how these folks were trying to get it out. But basically, man, if y'all read this shit, you can see what they were saying is that they made a mistake. It was posted, and it wasn't supposed to be posted like that. You know what I mean? Why would they take this shit down? Like, the thing about it is, though, like I'm saying, they said CNN, all right? They talk about CNN was the people that had done got it, and then they had done tried to put it out there. And because they had put it out there on CNN, they had done went and started, trying to tell them that, hey, it was false. You know what I mean? We actually meant to take it down, so they had to take it down. But like I just showed you, the one that I got it from was Washington Post, and this was done on Friday. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't like CNN was the first people to do it. They tried to say that they did this shit, I think it was Sunday, that they had did this shit. I can't quite recall. But they reverted back to it on Monday just because of the fact that CNN did it. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, man, is that it's crazy to me that these people, what they was really saying is that they had to change the language of it. Basically saying that they're gonna come back out and they're gonna re-release this shit again once they get people to accept it. Because they talking about they know how to control aerosols, this and that, and da da da. It's not much easier effect. But like I told you, man, people don't understand that these people are out here lying to you on a constant basis. They're trying to get you to accept information, and then they're trying to see what type of information do you know and don't you know. It's all about beta testing. But right now, man, they do it. One thing is clear. They're going to get you to continue to conform without giving you any information as to why. You know, I tell people all the time, man, you need to educate yourself on how this shit happening. Like, let's say this shit, man. You know what I mean? How the fuck can you really see this shit? Like, for people people cannot see oxygen. They can't see hydrogen. They can see the effects of these things. They can know that they exist because they can see the effects of what they do and how they react. Coronavirus got to be the same fucking way. If you can't see this shit on the guy, if it's suspended in air, how do you see this? How do you measure this? How can you say that the results of coronavirus is in this fucking air? People don't think deep enough to understand the science behind the claims that these people are making. And I put this shit out here all the time, man, and people don't seem to understand. And I'm sorry, man, that y'all can't quite grasp what I be saying. I try to break it down, try to get you to understand that, listen, man, the science that I'm trying to tell you about is not as deep as you think it is. These people that came up with some of the principles of this science, imagine this, they are not smarter than a fifth grader. Right now you are, and you've been there. But see, you right now are acting dumber than a first grader because people are not analyzing. You're not doing the basics that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to concrete illustrate. You're supposed to be able to understand. You're not even trying to do that. You're just going with the flow. Oh, yeah, okay, all right, yes, sir. Yeah, you got to do it. You got to wear your mask. I want to be safe. That's how we sound, man. I mean, it's ridiculous to me. Why you want to be safe? Cause I don't want to be sick. Why you want to be sick? Cause I don't want the coronavirus. Why you want the coronavirus? Cause it'll kill you. How's it going to kill you? Cause it'll get you sick. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? That's how we is. And that's all the answers that we gotta know. Once a person gets past the point, once a person know that they don't know the answer, they okay with ignorance, and they think the ignorance is the key to an answer. Well, everybody gotta believe what they want to believe. They can believe in anything they want to believe. That's how our people operate. It's ridiculous to me that we allow ourselves to go out here in this public, and we pushing this shit onto our kids. We are supposed to be analytical adults. Anybody who can analyze any fucking thing should be able to look at this shit and say, hey, it ain't making no sense. We ain't doing that, though. We're allowing these people to just walk right on into what they want us to do. And it's just crazy to me, man. I try to tell people, try to warn people. I don't, man, I try to make videos here and there. But right now, man, I look at it and I see the problem is our ability to understand information. So it's like sometimes I'm just talking. I respect and I appreciate the people that's out there that I'm talking to, man, but you got to understand, it concerns me a lot. When I look at y'all people that can understand me, that shit make me happy. But what makes me sad is the people that can't, and the reason why they can't. That's what pissed me off is because of the fact that they don't have that understanding. And I mean, it's not like it's a certain fucking gift. I mean, I'm a smart dude. I'm not going to act like I'm not. But it's not like it's a fucking gift, man. I don't feel like I'm just, high and mighty intelligent. Because all I do is just sit down and analyze the little simple things. And it makes total perfect sense. But people give me credit for being smarter than what I really perceive to be myself. You get what I'm saying? And it's just frustrating to me to see that these little simple decisions that you can easily recognize can be put in perspective by other people. But they choose not to. You know what I mean? But I said I was going to go through that shit, man. By these political pressures. But like I'm telling you, man, I ain't even finna waste my breath doing this shit and it fall on their fields or whatever, anything like that, man. Y'all look this shit up your damn self. My thing is this, man. All this shit is a fucking joke. Only thing I want y'all to understand, there are contradictions out there. And we can stop this shit. All you gotta do is become smarter than you was yesterday. Don't keep on allowing yourself to think ignorance is gonna be the key to beating this fucking coronavirus when it's not. You're not gonna never beat anything that you don't understand, man. Darkness is not the key. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say it like that, man, because they don't associated these words to make them look that way and all that shit. But the thing is, man, you gotta educate yourself. You gotta step into the light and understand that you need to know. You need knowledge, man. But anyway, man, I'm gone. I appreciate anybody who got time to take, a couple of minutes to listen to what I got to say, man. I don't really just do this shit just to be goddamn hear myself talk, but I appreciate y'all that really do support a nigga, man. For y'all niggas that don't give a fuck about what I say, man, fuck what you got to say. I don't really care. I hope y'all niggas goddamn find it in yourself to do your own goddamn shit. Try to help us help each other. You know what I mean? Before I go to, man, I want to say this, like I was telling my wife, man. Motherfuckers say that they love their kids and they love they love life, they love your children. Well, if you love your fucking children, it is your responsibility and your duty to fight this fight today and not fight that shit and leave that for them to fucking fight. Now, our parents did that, and I love my parents to death, and I don't fault them for that. They didn't have no clue. They didn't have as much guidance as we do today. We know what the fuck going on. We got the opportunity to see this shit, and we know how to fucking stop it, but we refuse to do so. At least our parents tried to fucking fight. They tried to do something. You know what I mean? They did the best that they could to the ability, and all the information that was being given to them, they chose the best choice that they could make. We got the opportunity to be able to see the choices that we are trying to make, but we still making fucked up decisions. So if you love your children, it's up to you to be that motherfucker that say, hey man, my job and my success and me just living is much less important than the future of my fucking children. I'm willing to die for mine, and y'all got to be the same way. If you ain't like that, man, you cannot be a part of what I'm about. You get what I'm saying? I sacrificed my life for my children. I did that when I started having them. I didn't have children to have me. You get what I'm saying? I just wanted to put that out there, man. But I appreciate all the love, support, and all that shit like that, man. Peace out, A-Town down. God bless y'all.